Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Online Course Podcast, the place where course creators go to sell more of their online courses. I'm super excited because we have a very special guest with us today. A little bit about this person. She's a business strategist. She helps business women get clarity, balance, and close clients on Instagram without being salesy. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Miss Steph Pye from Stephs Socials. Steph, how are you?
Hi, good, Joe. Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you going today?
Yes, I am awesome. Thank you for asking. Steph, I like to start all my podcasts off with a quote or mantra that inspires you or fires you up. Have you got one for us?
Basically, just get it done. Stop waiting. Stop saying that you'll do it tomorrow. Just do it today.
Yes, love that. That's one of my favorites as well. It's either, and the way I look at it as well, if you do something, you either get it right or you learn from it and you do it better than the next time. If you do nothing, you don't get it done and you don't learn anything. So it's a lose-lose. Now,
Exactly.
Stephanie, I know we're a bit short on time. That's my fault. I had some technical issues there. So is it okay with you if we just dive straight into it?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, you're one of the experts in the world when it comes to closing sales on Instagram. What I was hoping to start with, Steph, is tell us a little bit about why Instagram. You know, there's all these different social media platforms at the moment. You've got Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Tinder. Where does Instagram, and they've all got their advantages, their disadvantages, right?
Yeah.
Where would you say Instagram fits on that whole social media ecosystem? And what are the benefits?
Basically, Instagram as a whole, I find the easiest way to actually find your ideal clients. Once you know exactly who they are, it's easy to go and find them and build relationships with them. You can actually contact them and start building that relationship and building that engagement with people without actually, sliding straight into the direct messages and shoving your products down their throats, which a lot of people do. I still have people do it to me, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can get on there, you can follow someone for a little while, get to know them and see if they're going to be in line with you, what you do. And it goes both ways, whether you are trying to, if you're looking for a service, if you're looking for a business coach or something, maybe it's easy to go and find 3 or 4 business coaches, follow them, watch their stories, see what they're about, and then basically it goes both ways. So Instagram as a whole it's a very holistic approach to business. I find the reach is there, the approachability is there, the way that you find people is there, and they can get to know you, like you, and trust you, and you can build your community so simply with a simple strategy. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be, people put too much stress on themselves with Instagram, thinking that it has to be perfect. It doesn't. People love authenticity. People love you being real, getting on your lives, getting on your stories, seeing your face, seeing that you're a real person, and, just absorbing your value, absorbing your personality, connecting with you. And that's
Yes.
why I love Instagram, because you can get all of that in that platform. Facebook, for example, is very limited with reach. Business pages and things, it's very hard. The only good part about Facebook for businesses is groups. But apart from groups, you're very limited without paying through the roof, for ads and advertising.
Yes. Wow. So many good points there. We could do a whole podcast just on those little things you mentioned there. I'll do a quick summary there for the listeners. So, and I think my best takeaway from there is, the reach side of things. Like if you want to start up a business and or start up a business social media page and you're tossing up, all right, Instagram or Facebook, you post something on a Facebook business page, nobody's even seeing that. You post on Instagram, at least there's a chance, right? Obviously, there's things we can do to make it better and things you do that aren't ideal, but at least you're putting yourself in the ballpark on Instagram. So I love that there. Now, what I'd like to do, Steph, if it's okay with you, is if we maybe start on a bit of a journey, because there's going to be a whole heap of people listening to this who they know what Instagram is. Maybe they've got an account for their personal stuff, but they haven't started up a business one because they just don't know what to do. Or they've started up a business one, but it's blank. There's no photo, there's no bio, there's maybe one photo from 2 years ago. Is it okay with you if we maybe start from the scratch? Let's say someone's listening to this, they know what Instagram is, they use it personally, but they're like, no, I really want to get on it and use my business side of things. I've just created an account. What tips can you get us off the start? Even from the name to the photo to the bio, what can you tell us starting off? What should we do there?
Yeah, perfect. So the first thing that you need to do is align your profile. So if you have a Facebook page and you want to get on Instagram, make sure that you have the same consistent message throughout all of your platforms. So if you say, I help women in business do this, I help mums in business do this, make sure that your Instagram is in line with that. Don't have, I help women in business here, I help mums in business here, I help dads do this. You know, stay consistent with your message and what you do throughout your platforms. So the Instagram profile is broken down into a few different parts. The first, and we'll talk about above the fold. So above the fold is the first thing that you see when you go onto somebody's profile. So you'll see their profile picture. And if you're a brand, I think, Jono, you've got a lot of course creators and coaches in your group. So we'll talk about that. So basically you are your brand. So if you are your brand and you are the face of the brand, your profile picture should not be a logo. It should be a person. And it should be you, because people connect with people. So if you're wanting to build those genuine connections and those interactions and be the face of your business, you need to have a profile picture. Ideally, it needs to be, you know, forward facing and smiling, and a headshot, an approachable photo. You know, there's a lot of, you know, you see the stern photos with the, you know, the blank faces, and they're not quite, it's not quite approachable. So whatever message you're trying to put out there, that's what your profile photo needs to be. We then go down into, underneath that is, there's a bold part. Now this bold part is basically SEO for Instagram. So if you have your name there, for example, if I had Stephanie Pye there, people aren't searching Stephanie Pye. As a business owner, I want to be there as digital business strategist.
Only
This
stalkers,
name is the
only stalkers will search your name, right?
Yeah, only stalkers, exactly. So I want to be, if somebody's looking for a digital business strategist and they type that in, I want to be one of the people that shows up. But if I didn't have that there, I wouldn't show up. It's SEO for Instagram. So if somebody is specifically looking for what you do, that's a missed opportunity. Although you do need to still have your name in there. And the reason for that is, in the direct messages, that's what you come up as. You used to, up until probably 2 or 3 months ago, it used to be your username in the direct messages, but now it's that bold bit. So I have Steph Digital Biz Strategist, only because business doesn't fit, and I don't ideally love slang, but I wanted to fit it all in there. So you have to play around with words a little bit, and I put digital and strategist as my 2 main words, not digital business. So you have to kind of play around with the words. You can only change it once every 14 days. If we want to go down a little bit further, there's that, this is the bio. This is where you can say, basically, this is your message to everybody that lands on your profile. This is what you do, who you help, and how you help them. And I think it's 110 characters. So you don't have a whole slab of writing to get there. So you have to get there and you have to get straight to the point, whether it's dot points or a small layout. Then we go down further, and this is where you have your website, or your link to your freebie, or the link to your private Facebook group, wherever it is that you want to collect and basically collectively get your ideal clients when they hit your profile. Do you want to get them onto your email list? Do you want to get them into your private Facebook group? Do you want to get them, do you have a really low ticket program that's then going to upsell? Or do you have a low ticket program that you can then put them in an email nurture sequence? What is it about that call to action that you are going to put them into? You can also always have like a Linktree link, or I've actually set my WordPress website up similar to Linktree with the buttons, but it's got a lot more information. So if I send somebody, I say in my stories, I'm sending people to my private Facebook group, the link is in my bio. The link is always in my bio, and I don't have to change my link, but it's basically, it's always there. And you can just say the link is in my bio, and there's a button there that they just click the button and that will take them to that. So Linktree is a free, simple to set up, easy way to send people to multiple sources without always having to change your bio website. The next thing down, and probably one of the most important parts, is your highlights. This is basically the best you have to offer. This is where you put your testimonials. This is where you put about you. This is where you put what you can offer. For me, for example, I get on my stories almost daily, and I'm offering daily, 2-minute tips or 1-minute tips on a specific topic to do with Instagram or business. I save every one of those in the month. So I have one highlight says August tips, one highlight says July tips. So somebody could go back through my whole profile and just watch my highlights. And feel free to do that, guys, if you want to go and stalk my highlights. There's so much value in there, and I get on my stories and I'm constantly offering value so people can see that in my highlights, and then they're like, they want to know, what does she have next? What's her, and then they want to watch my stories, because, and we'll get a little bit into the selling as well, but the stories is where you can sell. The stories is where you can take people on a journey within 3 minutes from getting to know you to buying your product. Within 3 minutes. If you do it effectively, you can get it done within 3 minutes. So we'll go through that process a little bit, but I just wanted to break down the profile layout. When we go into pictures, if you don't need a fancy camera, I'm stuck at home in isolation and I had no content the other day. So I got my iPhone, I put it on a stand, and I mean, you could put it on a bench and lean it against something hard so it sits up like this. One of the best, easiest ways to do is stand in front of, like, to get really simple, clear pictures, stand in front of a window and make sure there's nothing behind you, obviously, but stand in front of a window and turn your camera on and record a video. Go back through that video and just move it along to where you're smiling perfectly. Take that photo, move it along. You could get 20 photos within 2 minutes. I mean, I did this the other day and I had, a pile of 3 different t-shirts sitting beside me, and a hair tie. So, I put my hair up in one photo with a different t-shirt, and I got, 20 photos worth of content within a couple of minutes, and you don't need fancy equipment. So you could basically get your profile set up like that and, mix those photos in with a few memes and quotes and, whatever else you want to mix it in with, maybe some sliders. So content people get so confused about, but it doesn't have to be complicated. People don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one wants perfection. Instagram used to be, you had to have the perfect lighting and cameras and filters and all these fancy things. It's not like that anymore. Some of my highest engaged photos are just natural photos that I've taken myself. So don't get too caught up on that. But yeah, that was a long ramble on, Jono. You get me started and I just don't stop.
I know, right? I got so much good bits of info there as well. I usually do a bit of a summary, but I think I might even just move on to the next thing, because we'd be so much good stuff there. I recommend, if you're watching this, just rewind and watch again and again. And a little tip I'll give, even just jump on and follow Stephanie on Instagram, because you can have a look at her profile and see how she's done all of that there. So if you're listening on the podcast, I'll put a link to her Instagram in the show notes. If you're watching this on Facebook, just comment Instagram down below and either me or Steph will go over and contact you. So awesome. All right. So that's a really good bio from there. Now let's talk about, I guess we can go 2 ways here. We can either talk about, all right, how do we now find and attract our ideal client, or do we start posting some stuff straight away? Which way do we go first, Steph?
Post.
Posting.
You need to have at least, I would say, 9 images on your profile. You need to have something there, because if you're going and finding and attracting people, they're going to hit your profile and go, what does this person have? Like, what are they about? There's no substance to the page yet. So ideally get on and post and just have a little bit there, even get on and do some stories. It doesn't matter if no one's watching, just get on and get that stuff there, because if you're an expert in your field and people see that you're an expert in their field, they will want to learn from you. But once we find and attract people, our profile needs to be set up, because there's so many people on social media. You want to make sure that they hang around.
Yes, love that. And I guess the easy way it almost goes back to your quote at the start of just do it. And it's almost a bit of a chicken and the egg. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to post on Instagram because I don't have any followers. Well, you're never going to get any followers if you don't have any posts. So just do the post, even if you don't have any followers. And now when you start doing some of this other stuff, your followers or people will come over and be like, oh, this person's pretty cool. I'll go and follow them.
Yeah. When we're talking about posting, I'll go quickly into it. You can get organic reach for free with no followers. People can see you. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to tag your location. It is automatically going to go into, so I'm in Melbourne, Victoria. I tag Melbourne, Victoria. Sometimes I tag my suburb. Melbourne's quite big. So sometimes I tag my suburb to get that really local market. And then other times I tag Melbourne as a whole. But if you tag Melbourne, it is always going to go to the recent part of Melbourne. And I mean, my suburb specifically, if you get a high amount of engagement on your posts, you end up in the top. So when somebody goes and searches Melbourne, if I have a trending post, it's going to be at the top and people are going to see me straight away. And that's one of the reasons, to really work out how hashtags work and how to get that initial engagement, to get that reach, to get seen by more people, because the more people you see, the more people are going to see you.
Love it.
So that was just a quick tip.
Yes. Well, let's even go. We'll even expand a little bit there, because I think that's a good one. So even if you're watching this, listening to this, and you're like, yeah, but Steph, I've got an online business. I want to target the rest of the world. Who cares? Just because you've got an online business doesn't mean you can't hit someone up in your own area. And there's probably multiple advantages, right? Maybe someone in your own area sees it and they might be interested and they purchase it. But even they might have follow you or whatever, or they might have a friend, or even there's probably organic advantages as well. Great. You tag your local suburb, you get a few more likes and comments. That might lead to more other people liking and commenting it. So it can grow like that as well. And am I right in saying location and then also just hashtags as well, right? Tag your location,
absolutely.
find some hashtags. You got no followers, and then all of a sudden you might even get a few people even without doing any work.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Now, just off the bat, Steph, would you know of any just quick and easy, even low ticket sort of little courses people could do to help them find hashtags?
I've actually just launched on Wednesday my pre-sale. I've launched the pre-sale for my hashtags. It's called Holy Hashtags. So it basically takes you through what a hashtag is, how to use it effectively, how to get it working for you, because Instagram has an algorithm. So if you're just posting hashtags, they are not going to, they're always going to the recent. When you use a hashtag, it'll go into the recent folder. If you know nothing about hashtags, I'll give you a brief rundown. And this is the analogy that I like to use. If you walk into a stadium and there's 30 doors, because Instagram allows you to use 30 hashtags, every door is a room full of people. If you don't use a hashtag, that door never gets opened, ever. So why would you not want to open 30 doors to 30 different audience bases? And a lot of people get caught up in, which hashtags to use. I take you through exactly how to build 4 hashtag sets for your industry with the right amount of usage, because every hashtag has a certain amount of, the amount of people that have used that hashtag. So if you want to go really deep into that, my mini course basically takes you through that, and it's on pre-sale now. It goes live Wednesday. What are we today? Saturday. So it goes live in 4 days. So if you do want to get to know that, I'm sure John will put a link somewhere above, below, around, about, somewhere.
If you're on Facebook, comment below, write hashtag down below. Me or Steph will go and do it. If you're listening on the podcast, I'll put it down in the show notes. So awesome. All right, cool. So that's all well and good. And that also takes care of a bit of our growth as well, if we do our tags and our hashtags there. So one thing I really like about your strategy, Steph, I heard you're live with Takara, and I was like, man, that's such a good sales strategy. And I think that's more important. I'd love to get your opinion, but I feel like I'd prefer to have fewer followers and actually have them buy stuff from me than just have a whole heap of followers and not make any sales or money. So I was hoping you could give us your 2 cents on that, and then maybe let us know, okay, even if we don't have a big following, how can we make a few sales?
Absolutely. So this is something that I'm so passionate about, because everyone gets caught up in the numbers of followers on Instagram. It does not matter how many followers you have. If the followers that you have are your community and your tribe, if they love what you have to say and you take them on a journey of getting to know you, getting to like you, getting to trust you, and you don't spam them, you don't inbox them saying buy my products, and you don't get them on the wrong foot, and you are authentic, you can take them through a process to sell online. You can take them on a journey. It doesn't have to be hard and complicated. For example, and I'll just show exactly how this works. I'll take you through my hashtag strategy my hashtag course. I did a pre-sale with this on, I think I launched it. It was actually Thursday. I launched this Thursday morning. So I have built my community up basically by being real and authentic and showing up online, never telling anybody about my products in the direct messages unless they ask about it. I basically you take people through, and you can do it from the start, from 0 followers. You take them through the visibility, engagement, leads, and sales process. So basically the VELS method. So first you need to get seen. You can get seen by shouting out accounts, and maybe they'll shout you back. You can get seen by engaging on people's posts. You can go to industry leaders and engage on their posts, and then other people see you. This, you can go to hashtags, you can go to locations, but you actually have to be social to get seen. Once you get seen, you then need to start engaging with them, but also getting them to engage with you. And once they engage with you, Instagram sees you as friends. That kicks in the algorithm to say, yep, these people are friends, so they are going to show your content to these people. Every time I'm going to launch a course or a program, I know who out of who's been engaging with me and who I've been engaging with. I know who I've been targeting. I know who's going to be ready to buy. I went through my stories and I offered value about hashtags, 3 minutes worth of, sorry, one minute. So 4 slides worth of mistakes that people make on hashtags. Then I said, I've launched my pre-sale price. Then I put testimonials, and then I did another call to action. So that is 3 minutes worth of value on my Instagram stories. And I then went and watched every person that I thought would buy my course. I went and watched their stories and engaged with one of their posts. I watched their stories and I engaged with their stories, and I, whatever their story is, if their kid was eating blueberries and had blueberries smushed all over their face, I'll say, my son loves blueberries too. They're so messy, whatever it is, but just being real, being you, however you speak to people. These people are then intrigued. What's Steph up to today? They're going to watch my story, aren't they? Because I've engaged with them. I'm in the direct messages, and they see that little ring around my face that I have a story. They then go and watch my story. And I sold 13 within the first 6 hours of my pre-sale. And that's just basically, do you know what I mean? People get caught up and it has to be so complicated, but it doesn't. If you are social on social media and you build the relationships of a ready to buy audience. My audience, I offer value on a daily basis, and they know what I'm about. They know me, they like me, and they trust me. If they know me. If they don't like me, then they're going to unfollow. That's fine. Right. Not everyone likes us. The minute that we get that out of our head that we have to please everyone, the happier and the easier things become. Your content is tailored to the people that you are trying to attract, to your ideal avatar, and everyone else comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. And that's okay. Instagram followers go up and down like this. But the people that are there and they're ready to stay and they want to hang around and they hang off every word you have to say, they are your tribe. They are your community.
Yes. Wow.
So you need to nurture them.
Yes. Okay. Now, I want to be sensitive of time. I know you've got to roll in about 5 minutes, Steph, but I want to spend a few minutes on this because, and I'll give for everyone listening and watching, I've done I've done, plenty of different Instagram courses out there. I was going to say I've done millions of Instagram courses. I'm like, I wish, but it feels like millions. I've done, many different Instagram courses, many different videos, watched many different people, and no one's broken down that strategy like Steph has there. Most people sort of most teachers will spend a lot of time in the visibility, and that's okay. You've got to have that stuff there as well. But Steph just yada through like 5 of them off the top of her head that you can do. And really a lot of that stuff you can Google anyway. You could jump on Google right now, how to get more people to see my Instagram posts, and you'll see all sorts of blogs and tips and all that. And you've got to do it. We're not saying you don't have to do it. You've got to do that stuff to get seen, right? But that whole selling strategy, I want to dive into a little bit deeper, especially if someone's not super familiar with Instagram. So I'll dumb it down and then just correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. So essentially what Steph's saying is, go and find many different ways to get people to see you. You can jump on Google. It's endless the amount of different ways you can get people to find you, right? People start to find you. They're going to follow you back. What's important is that you're posting some sort of regular content. You're not just trying to sell the whole time. You're giving tips. You're sharing about you. You're posting something on there so people know, like, and trust you. That's like your base, right? Do that, and once again, you can probably Google both of those things there, right? But where I think it gets really, really good with Steph is her specific sales strategy. So there's a few sort of things to it. Let me try and think of the best way to simplify it. So essentially what Steph's doing is, she's posting regularly. And then on Instagram, you can see who viewed your stories. Now, Steph might, she posts a story and she might spend a few minutes scrolling through. Oh, okay, this person's always looking at my stuff. Let me check out their profile. Yeah, this person looks like my ideal client. Let me make sure I'm following them. Let me, like a few of their photos. Let me leave a few genuine comments there. So she's purposely the post is like the start of the funnel, I guess you'll say. And then whoever's viewing it is then when Steph goes a bit deeper, but she's not going to DM that person and be like, hey, I saw you saw one of my stories. Do you want to buy my stuff? She's, interacting with that person. So, and there's a few things there. I think firstly, the person's thinking, oh, Steph, she's interacting with me. She must be pretty cool. I'm going to follow some of her stuff. I'm going to spend more time liking her photos and whatnot, which is then going to help Steph's algorithm in general. But also the Instagram algorithm side of things is going to be like, well, these two are always liking and commenting on their stuff. I better make sure I always show this person Steph's stuff. So Steph's purposely hacking the algorithm in her favor so that the people that she wants to see it is seeing it. Instead of it just posting and just it goes randomly to whoever's following her. All right, cool. Let me work that in my favor. So that's one side to it there. She's purposely getting in front of the people that she wants to. It's not just let me put it out there and see what happens. Maybe if you've got 1 million followers, you can do that. But, if you've got 100 followers or whatever, you may need to be a bit more strategic and build that relationship there. So I think that's a key part. I also want to touch on the exact sell part as well. But did I summarize that part all right, Steph?
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. And then Steph's actual selling strategy. It's not just, hey, I've launched this thing, swipe up and get it, or, click the link in my bio and get it or whatever. It's like, hey, here's a few bits of value or a few things that I'm seeding here. Then great, here's the course here. And if you just did that, it would be okay. You might make a few sales if you did that there. But what I think is genius about Steph's is after she's done that, then there's a few testimonials and then she does that sell again. And I find personally, whatever I'm doing on Instagram, I need to do it a few times. I can't just, if I'm just like, hey, here's the thing, go and swipe up. People just swipe so quick and they get out of it. They don't even read it. And I track my stats. I don't even do that testimonial thing. I'm going to start doing it. But when I track my stats, even if it's anything, even if it's like, hey, click here to join my Facebook group, whatever amount of people do it. Then if my next slide again is, hey, did you join it? If you haven't, you don't want to miss out because it's awesome. Click here and join it. There's always more people that join on that second one. And I used to be confused. I'm like, what the hell? You saw my first one. Why didn't you just join there? Why are you clicking the link on the second one? But it's just people are people. That's how Instagram works. You might have to, swipe, see it a few times to get that person to act. And then that testimonial is just the icing on the cake. Because you might see it, I'm not that interested. Testimonial, I'm a little bit more interested. Another testimonial, I'm a little bit more interested. Then I see that link again. You know what? I'm in. So I love that strategy there. Did I summarize that well?
Yeah, absolutely. You need to, and this is for really low ticket items. Like this was a low ticket. People, they don't have to break the bank to go and get it.
Yep.
If you're going to sell a high ticket item, it needs a little bit more. There's a different strategy that goes behind that. But this is for low. So I'm going to say under $100. You could do this under $100, fine, quick and easy. If you're going to go over $100, you need to nurture a little bit more and really, go deeper into it. Maybe get on some Instagram lives. And warm people up and get on a live and actually, touch base on one of the topics that you cover in your course or your program or your coaching. And, you then see who's on your live. You can see who's on there. You can see who's interacting with you. Everything I do on Instagram is strategic. Well, not everything I do, I say that, but there is probably still about 10% where I just like to have a bit of fun because it is fun as well.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on the content pillars because that's something that I find is really, really important as well. If we can quickly do that.
Yeah, I'm good. I just don't want you to miss out, So take as long. I'm good.
No,
you go for
that's
as long
okay.
as
I've got a call at 11 and my kids haven't come out of the room. They're with my fiance. They're locked in there while I'm doing this. So we're good for a couple minutes, but the minute they come out, I'm going to be getting my fiance tapping on the watch going, wind it up because he knows that I love it. So, basically, when we're talking about posting content pillars, I focus on 70% value. So 70% of the posts that you actually do need to be value to your audience. So if you know who you're talking to, your ideal client, you know what their pain points are, you can help them with some of their pain points. We focus more on the what, not the how. The how is what you sell. The what is what they need to know. So you're giving them a little bit. Sometimes you can give them a bit of the how, but that's up to your interpretation of how much of that.
That's what the course is for, right?
Yeah. So you don't want to go too much into the how. Although I say that, but I go into the how all the time because
you can't help it sometimes, right?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given you
I know.
literally the hows here. I'm telling you how to do it, but that's fine. I'll probably still have people that go, yep, I want more of Steph. That's fine. But if there's not, I've gone and I've given value to it. So, all right, we've got 2 minutes. So we've got what did I
Content
say?
pillars,
Oh yeah,
70% value.
yeah, content pillars. So they've got 14 content pillars that I like to focus on. Education, 70%, entertain, 10%, inspire, 10%, and personality and connection, 10%. So this is
love
what is important to you. So your values. So you're actually attracting the same type of people as you. So maybe loyal, kindness, whatever you're putting out there, for example.
Is that what you think of me? Did you look at me when you said that? You were referring specifically to me, right? When you said
Yeah,
people like you,
of
loyal and
course.
kind?
Yeah, we're connected on
I wish.
Instagram, so we're going through those pillars. So they're the 4 pillars that I basically suggest to all my clients to focus on in the post. You can do a call to action every now and again on your post, but you're better off trying to sell in your stories.
Love it.
If you can, and if you get confident in talking. So yeah, my time's up.
Awesome. All right, Steph, thank you very much for your time. You can even roll. I'll do a bit of a close off here as well, because I'll post it on Facebook and I'll shout you out a couple of times. But you're good to go. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me, Jono. And thanks everyone. If you have any questions, I will definitely answer them in the comments below.
Awesome. Thank you, Steph. So if you're still watching this on Facebook here, if you liked the video, just make sure to hit like. If you've got any questions, comment them down below. If you want to follow Steph on Instagram, just comment Instagram down below and she'll get over to you. If you want to check out Steph's hashtag course, just comment hashtag down below in the comments and Steph will get over to you there. She's also got a 30-day growth and engagement course as well. So if you're interested in that, type growth and engagement. Anyways, have a good day.